Right, today we have quite a different game for the kind of games I normally look at. This was someone pinged me and sort of said, "Please review this game," and I said, "Cool, let me have a look at it." And we are now having a look at it. It is called HotelClash, and it is made by the developer HotelClash. I guess it's a dev who specifically wants to make this kind of game. There's some very simple details here. You just manage a hotel, basically. Um, and obviously under the more information tags, it's simulation and strategy, which makes sense, although the status is prototype. And it was only published 16 days ago, which means it is quite a new-ish game. So, without further ado, let's hop in and take a look. It has a login, which is cool because it means your save game is saved on somebody else's server. But it also sucks because it means your presence is on somebody else's server, and what happens if that server goes down, and all of those kinds of questions. Fortunately, you can play as a guest. I like the idea of an online sort of save and presence for your games, but buyer beware and all those usual details. I don't know who hosts that. Is copyrighted HotelClash or rights reserved? Yeah. Anyway, so we'll play as a guest, which gives us certain limitations. I don't know what features are restricted, but obviously progress won't be saved permanently in persistent account, which is the same thing. Let's continue as a guest and let us pause so we can have a look at the game UI. And as you can see, this looks like a lot of information, which it is. This is a numbers sim game, which is absolutely amazing if you're into these kind of games. It's like that sort of soccer manager game, I think. A lot of other sort of web games that have a very similar concept. This one is about managing a hotel. So just to run through the tabs quickly, we have the general dashboard tab, which is telling us what's going on overall. We have the rooms tab that talks about the rooms that we have and the rooms that we can purchase. We have 2 standard rooms to start off with, and we can buy standard deluxe suites and executives at an increasing cost. Sort of overview. Here's our money. Here's current game time. Here's the reputation our hotel has. Our market share, I guess, of the hotel's market in our area, and then daily performance, how many people in the room, the satisfaction they have with it, today's income, and the season and the effect it has on our hotel, which is a nice little touch. Staff, we only have one staff who is a receptionist. So I'll sort of start off, it's Jane. We can hire staff from a whole bunch of categories, and the game is telling us that we are severely understaffed, but staffs have a daily salary, and that will make this number go down very, very quickly. So yeah, facilities, these are all the types of things that we can build, everything from a restaurant or a bar to a private submarine experience and a rooftop helipad and sky lounge, which would be lovely to have. Obviously, these all come with a cost and a staff requirement to run, I suppose, and that makes them sort of increasingly expensive. Why is this grayed out? Do you need to buy the staff before you construct the building? I'm not sure. Anyway. So the facilities, excuse me, I was woken up very early this morning by cats fighting, so yeah, I'm still waking up. Guests, this will tell us about our guests. I don't know if it tells us what our guests did or didn't like. We'll have a look at that when we just run a little bit, but this is a page to tell us about our guests and give us statistics about it and things like that. Marketing. Okay, the statistics stay there. Marketing, we can run campaigns to advertise the place, and we can change policies, which, sort of like it's pet friendly, will make businesses unhappy but families happy. Early check-in, late check-out, but that'll probably mess with our finances a bit. and so on. Everything is a balance, and we can run, sort of a social media campaign, or um, directly attack the users of other hotels. That's interesting. So it's marketing competition. These are the other hotels in the area that we are competing against and how well they are doing. We can target a very specific hotel. Okay, interesting. Anyway, those are the guys that we're trying to beat out. And this is our finance reviews, how much we've spent, and so on. So room expense. Our rooms actually cost us, and our facilities, all we have as a facility is the lobby, but it also adds a cost, I guess. So yeah, income versus expenses, that'll be an important page to look at as we go along. Our average daily profit is our staff salary and expenses, because we haven't started yet. So let's just let the sim run for a minute with our 2 rooms and Jane, the receptionist. And our day will start counting. We have 1 occupancy, which I think means that we have someone who has booked but hasn't arrived yet. Possibly not. Let's keep going. I'm not sure what that means. Game time is ticking over. We don't have a guest yet. We need to boost the reputation. So what happens if we go to marketing and we launch a campaign? For 7 days, that has cost us a chunk of cash, but it will tell people that we exist. It claims that the return on investment is high, but I'm not. Oh yeah, okay. So we have a person. So we had a person. Do we have information from them? Here's good reviews. Good reviews where? Do we get to see these reviews? I don't think we do. Which is the one thing that I think is missing, is that we can't see what our guests would be complaining about. If I have missed that somewhere, I do apologize. Developer, if you're watching, leave it in the comments if I have in fact missed it. Otherwise, that would be the one thing I would like to add to this, is something that sort of says this guest complained about the room cleanliness, that guest complained about the lack of a bar, that kind of stuff. Even if it's made up, it would boost the immersion. And yeah, I'm going to stop the gameplay at that moment, at this moment, just to run through some quick critiques, because I don't think there's too much more that I can show as a review. It's pretty obvious what the gameplay is like, and I think that's great. So the UI, other than the missing guest returns, I think for the kind of game it is, it's fine. It's pretty responsive in terms of feeling. It has a hell of a lot of information. It's neatly laid out. If I do have a complaint, it's that I cannot make it full screen, which means that if I can't continue to drag down, we end up with sort of the meta page dragging in, and now I can't see the page. And so I don't know what is required about making it full screen, but developer, if you can do that, please do so. Sounds and art, well, there is really not much. There's no sound and not much art. It would be nice to make this a bit more interactive with even if it's just sounds in the background, like I'm in a hotel lobby, that kind of thing. And artwork, I mean, obviously adding any kind of dynamic art is a massive investment, and probably not what the developer is aiming for, but I don't feel like I'm being immersed properly in the game. I feel like I'm working on a finance spreadsheet, which if you're into those kind of games is fine, it's not an issue. But if you are not, that immediately turns you off this kind of game. So something interactive would be nice. Obviously it's not what the developer is aiming for, it's not what the game type is, but I feel like that's missing. At the very least, sort of ambient sounds to make me feel, and that sort of fakery of guests' reactions and things like that. Something to make it feel a little bit more alive. But otherwise, it's as some games go, it is a really detailed, really multi-layered, well-built sim. And from that perspective, I recommend it heartily. And if that's what the dev is leaning into, then add even more fine details that we can manipulate to try and make our hotels more popular. That is really all the only critique I can give. It's missing other gameplay elements, but it isn't supposed to have those elements. So yeah, that is HotelClash. Highly recommended if you are into some games. From the YouTube side of things, if you like this video, just as a reminder, it helps me out and it helps your algorithm out. Subscribe and hit the alarm bell if you want to see more Itchio games. We show all sorts of games, not just some games, I promise. The YouTube subscriptions also help the algorithms, as do comments. If you comment on a video, YouTube knows that you are interested in that kind of video and will give you more of those kinds of videos, and that's how you train your YouTube algorithm. So hit those comments, tell me what you like, tell me what you think I should look at, tell me what you want me to talk about or not talk about, all that kind of stuff. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.